it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Today is just going to be a little get ready with me, and I have some news stories. Some news stories, y'all, that have been cracking me up. So of course, I need to share them with you. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. I feel like I haven't used it in a while. So pulling this out, I think I will maybe do some of the blues, maybe? Let's see. I shall think about that. And as I'm thinking, let me pull up these stories. Now, some of these are not for children, okay? So get the kitties out the room. Girl, but the first one had me side-eyeing Rosé. So this man, and where is he? He's somewhere in the UK. He was just going about his business. He is a musician. Ooh. I'm actually going to use one of the shades in the Groundworks palette for a primer. I used this one the other day, which is Sandstone. So let's try that and see. I haven't quite decided if I like it as a primer yet. Anyway, so home dude in the UK. He's a musician. He was just home minding his business, and he had a fall, like a really bad fall. And the reason he had a fall is because his cat maybe like wanted to play or something. So the cat comes out of nowhere and latches onto the man's leg, and the man loses his balance and falls down 14 stairs. First of all, that must be a really nice house because you got 14 stairs to fall down. But he falls down 14 stairs. And they said his injuries were like that of someone who had been in a car crash. Let me tell you what the injuries were. A broken neck, a fractured spine, smashed ribs, blood in his lungs, and other injuries that are similar to like a car crash. All because he tripped over this cat. So they're jokingly calling it Apocalypse Meow. This man is 59 years old, all right? You know, as we're getting older, we can't be falling like that. He actually doesn't remember much. He just remembers like he was up and all of a sudden he was down. So 14 stairs, y'all. And they said he is massively injured. Fractured skull, broken bone in the neck, 2 fractures in the spine, 9 broken ribs. Each rib has multiple fractures and a bit of blood in his lungs. And you know who was fine though? The cat. The cat was so okay. So here's the thing. This was in the daytime. And like he can't move. He's at the bottom of the stairs. He cannot move. And Mr. Cat is just like, girl, what you doing? So he's married, but his wife was working nights. So isn't it like he's really just not having a good day. So the wife is a children's care worker, and she was working nights, so she wasn't able to like help him, right? His phone's dead, and like he's at the bottom of the stairs, maybe paralyzed. Like he done broke just about everything in his body, tripping over this cat. So he just lays there. It's like so British. He's just like, he's just laying there all banged up. And so, you know, he couldn't call anybody. He couldn't yell. The cat's not going to call nobody. Matter of fact, the cat is just like stamping on his chest. This cat was trying to get rid of him. He wasn't trying to play. He was trying to get rid of you, sir. So he ended up laying there for 14 hours because not only was his wife working overnight, but she decided to pick up a couple more hours. 14 hours. So then she gets home and he's like, hey, like he's calling out. He's like, hey, you're home. help. Oh my God. And so she calls the like emergency services, and she goes to another room because she said she couldn't stand looking at him all banged up like that. And they had to like give him medicine, like they had to drug him up to move him, okay? And medics transported him, and he remained in the trauma unit for 2 weeks. And now it's going to be 6 to 12 months before he's back on his feet. And he's having seizures, and he just won't be great for another year. And he can't breathe without oxygen. And it's a long recovery, y'all. It's a long recovery. And he's also lost a lot of income because he's not working. So he's a musician, and he can't be musicianing because he's laid up, unable to like walk, talk, and breathe. The thing that gets me is that the cat's fine. The cat is like, I don't know why y'all making such a big deal about it. Like the cat. Oh shoot. I'm like spilling stuff. The cat is like, I just wanted to play. Like, the cat does not understand what the big deal is. I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Electric. And see, but that's the thing. Cats don't care, okay? I bet you he was like, you see what happens when you don't feed me on time? You see what happens. Now you in traction. Like, thank God this man is okay. And he's not even mad at the cat, y'all. I don't know if I could say that. If your cat did you like that, what, like, how would you feel? Like, I love Rosé, but we would probably have to go to couples therapy or something, because you just tried to take me out, girl. You just, for real, tried to take me out. Because you know I'm going down the stairs. Why are you going to jump at me in that moment? But you know, I can see it happening to all of us. I can see it happening because one thing I know for sure is that Rosé likes to sit places and not move when you're trying to get around her. She'll sit right there. But this poor man, and I mean, it was just a confluence of just so many things, right? Because of course it happens when his wife is at work. Of course his phone is dead. Of course the cat is just like messing with him, stamping on his chest. And then of course his wife decides to pick up like another half of a couple hours of work. So he was just out of luck. Now I don't know if they weren't or aren't near neighbors or something, that he could like yell and see if somebody could hear him. But he laid there for 14 hours. I would be like, Alexa, Alexa, play YouTube or something. Like, wow. It wasn't the cat's fault. The cat didn't know that all of that was going to happen. And the cat was probably like, if I fall, I just get right back up. So I don't know that the cat knew that this is like a catastrophic event, sir. And I just love that the cat, they have a picture of the cat and he's just like, oh my God, cats are too much. They are too much. Cats are too much. I cannot even. So that's the first story, just get us, you know, in the mood. Y'all. Okay. So this designer passed away, right? Unfortunately. And this New Jersey model, she was like real close to the designer. And you know how there are some designers and they just like, they make clothes for their muse, their like model that they like the most. So that's how they were. They were like real cool. So the deceased fashion designer I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is Fun to Mime. The fashion designer wants an open casket funeral. And, you know, everyone's there. And the model decides that she's going to do a special tribute to him. Ma'am, her special tribute was doing a runway walk to the open casket, blowing him a kiss, and then doing a runway walk back out. That was her gift to him. That was her tribute. That was her gift to him. I mean, you... What do you think about that? Tell me what you think about that. I'm trying to figure out, did she put like the little runway down? Because somebody else must have been in on it. If they said it was like a makeshift runway. So somebody helped you. Somebody helped you do this. And remember, this is another reason how we know that people don't have friends. That's how we... First of all, she posed and walked, honey, okay? She worked that makeshift runway. She wore a silver dress that he designed, and she accessorized it with a bedazzled headpiece that dangled down her chest, okay? So, I mean, she looked good, first of all. And instead of having like some somber funeral music, honey, they played some upbeat house music for her to walk down the aisle, down the runway. And he, you know, he had an open casket, and he had a fur blanket draped over his body. There's a little red carpet, y'all. I mean, I've just been hearing more and more stories of these requests that people are having for their, you know, final moments. I don't know. First of all, okay, I don't know that he asked her to do that. That's the thing. I don't know that he asked her, or if she was like, you know what? I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do one final walk. I don't know that he asked her to do that. I wouldn't act like, don't be taking the attention off of me, okay? Like, no. You up here walking and strutting. Nobody asked you to do that. This isn't your funeral. Like, I feel like I'd be a little upset. I'd be in heaven like this, bitch. And I don't know if this is worse or better than the next one. Because this was another, unfortunately, deceased person. And, you know, they left instructions as to what kind of funeral they want, everything, which is very helpful for a lot of people. Now, they're open casket. Now, this one starts out, he's in El Salvador. And he loved to have a party, girl. That was his thing. So you know where they held his wake? In a nightclub. He requested this. He said he wanted his funeral in a discotheque. That's what he wanted. He loved the party. He loved to dance. There was a vigil. There was a video. This is the way they said it. Family decided to have his open casket take center stage on the dance floor, with mourners seen shimmying around the coffin as Latin track blared from the speakers. The nightclub's flashing blue and purple lights just added to the party atmosphere. Like, I'm wondering, who do you call? Like, do you call the owner of the discotheque? Do you, like, I'm really confused. Does the club like shut down for those several hours, or is just like anybody able to come in? What would you do if you walked in and there is a full-on open casket and it's not Halloween? I would be confused. I would think I was in some kind of fever dream. Like, is this actually happening? And I don't think this is the first time I done heard of somebody having their funeral in like a club or like a party or something, or posing the deceased child. Girl, like, I feel like we have lost the plot. We have lost the plot, okay? We have lost the plot. First of all, how much does that cost? You're trying to get us to accrue costs. Like, it's not cheap to do this stuff. It's expensive, okay? And like, now we gotta find money to talk to these discotheque people and figure out what time can we have the party / funeral. Like, can you even have an open casket in that space? Are there any like rules and regulations that you would have to follow? And then again, how much does this cost? How long do we have the space for? Like, how do you invite people? Come to the party. If you have any sort of specifications around something like this for yourself, let me know, because I would like to really understand this process here. Girl, and if you were to see this, the picture, no. Right, Rose? Right? You not having it, huh? I know, girl. Child. Rose, when I tell you, girlfriend, when I tell you, some of these stuff, I'm really confused. I'm really confused, y'all. So that would mean, like, the funeral home, right? They would have to deliver the deceased to the discotheque. Like, can you just have it delivered wherever you want it to go? Because I mean, they'd be like, well, you know, it's not a church. Does that matter that it's not a church? Like, I have questions. And I just feel like these things are going to just spark more. Like, I'm dramatic, right? But maybe, like, enjoy yourself party afterward. But I don't, like, do you have to be 21 and over? Like, I do not understand. I don't think I want to understand. I think I just want to leave it alone. But let me know what you think about that. So we have so far the cat that almost took its owner out and did not care. And the woman doing a little fashion show at the funeral. And then this man having his at a nightclub. Okay, so we're building up to juiciness, right? Now, I feel like all consenting adults should do whatever they want to in terms of sex. Do what you want as long as everybody's consenting here, right? That's all. To me, that's it. As long as everybody's consenting, do you, boo. Do, where, what, when, how, whatever. This police officer pulls up on a car, and in his report, he says he noticed the car is rocking. Now, what's that thing? If the car is rocking, don't come a knocking. But he decided, I'm a knock. And how old is this man? I think he was 65. Or is he older? I'm sorry, he's 55. And so he was arrested. And you would think, like, wouldn't that just be like indecent exposure or something? But he was in possession of methamphetamine. And he's been charged with that, with possession. He's also been charged with furnishing, possession, or using prohibited articles, possession of drug paraphernalia, and public sexual indecency. Now I understood all the other ones, but I was like, public sexual indecency, like what was going on? So like I said, the cop walks up to the car and he looks in the window, little voyeur self, and he notices that the man is engaging in a sex act with a teddy bear. Now, that's fine, okay? Like I said, do what you want to do. Only thing, I don't know if this teddy bear can consent, because it was a teddy bear. It wasn't like a furry, if you know what that means. It was a like a stuffed teddy bear in the middle of this like parking lot with meth. Like, he just kept making it worse. He just kept making it worse. And now they got his, why they do this to this man? They be trying to embarrass people. They have his full name, first, middle, last, and he's the third, and picture, everything. So you just put this man all out on blast for him enjoying himself in the comfort of his own car, I guess, but in a public space, because it's public sexual indecency. He was at a store and lock place, like I guess a storage place. His bond is at $5,000. And he appeared in court and pleaded not guilty to the charges. I'm just like, why you gotta put that man's business all like out there like that? But I think that, don't they have to, like, you have to put in like little police blotter or whatever, like you have to make it known who was arrested and why, I think. I don't know. But I just why did they do that to that man? Why did they do that to him? Could you imagine? Could you imagine, like, you're trying to do your own little thing in the comfort of your own little whatever. I think the only bad thing is that he was doing it in like a garage, like a parking lot. That just doesn't seem, I don't think you can do that. Like, that doesn't, I don't think you can do that. But yeah, girl, he got arrested for that. Oh, but we're still building up, okay? We're still building up. But there's a lesson in a lot of these. The lesson here in this one, don't eat food that's not yours, okay? So this girl, she goes into her sister's room. And she finds some snacks. She finds some Nutella. I don't even think I've actually had Nutella ever. But she finds some Nutella and she's like, ew, I'm about to eat some of this, right? Understandable. If I walk into your room and you have food, guess what? Now we both have food because I'm about to eat it. But now I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson just by reading this story from Homegirl. So, like, now she regrets it. Let me tell you why she regrets eating up this Nutella. What's up, girl? I know. So she ate like a full jar of it. Nutella is like chocolate hazelnut spread. You could put it on anything. You can put it on waffles. You can put it on bananas. You can just put it on it. Just pour it all over. So eating a whole jar is a lot, right? That's a lot. Like, you must have been real hungry, but it also just doesn't sound like the best idea to eat a whole jar of Nutella. But what she didn't know, this is how she found out. It doesn't say how she found out. She she later found out that the Nutella jar had been used as a sexual aid for her sister and the sister's boyfriend. And you know, for a second, I was like, what? That seemed real sticky. How did you not supposed to put that in there? Then I was like, oh, it's for the sister to. Okay. It took me a second, y'all. I was real confused. Basically, she described it as like it's like a churro getting dipped into. Yeah. Right. So it's like if, you know, like you were dipping a churro into the Nutella to give you the image that you were waiting for. And so people are sharing stories, girl. One said that they heard a similar story, but it was Doritos nacho cheese dip. No. Okay? Listen. No. I have so many, like, inappropriate, like, jokes about this. But how did she find out? Did her sister come home and be like, oh, did you see a jar of Nutella? And she's like, girl, I ate it. And she's like, I don't know if I would say anything. I might just be like, don't be coming in my room eating my stuff. Like, I don't know that I would want to know. I don't know that I would want to. Ooh, and the juice is probably all up in. No. She ate the whole jar. I would probably be fighting. I would be fighting my sister. Like, you know I'm going to come in your room and you know I'm going to take some snacks. And you're going to leave that nut jar for, like, why you leave that there? Why you didn't put that somewhere else? Girl. Nacho cheese. And Nutella. And you know, they like consulted with like a like sex therapist, and she's like, it's unconventional. Like, listen, proceed with caution. Don't have no nut allergy or no chocolate allergy, because what a way to go. What a way to go. Like, for real. Where would you have that funeral? Child. Like, I'm confusing myself. I don't even like this. Like, you know what? Like, oh, girl, you better go get, like, tested and stuff. Because, I don't want to be that close to a sibling's partner. Don't show your face at my house. Don't come over here. That's too close for comfort. No, that's too close for comfort. That's too close. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay? I'm not a fan. Okay, but we're going to keep moving up. We're going to keep moving up the ladder of like, no, you didn't. We're going to keep moving up the ladder, okay? Cool, girl. That's all you gotta do is get you like a makeup wipe or something. And just fix it. Now I have two more stories. Let me find this one story. Because it's not even, I don't even think it's the worst. I have two more, and I think I'm gonna save the best for last. Okay? Give me Okay, two more stories. One is crazy. And the other is interesting, questionable. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this tech mogul. Girl, he's all in the news, okay? He spends $2 million a year to retain youth. This how you know people be having too much money. $2 million. Let me tell you what he does. So he's 45, like 45 or 46 by now. And he wants to keep his internal organs youthful. So what he does, one day, him, his 70-year-old father, and his 17-year-old son, they go to a clinic near Dallas for an hours-long tri-generational blood swapping treatment. What is that, you may wonder? Did I tell you his name? Brian Johnson. Sound real basic, right? So he usually receives plasma from an anonymous donor. But I guess one day he was like, well, I gotta go get somebody else when I could just use my son. So what he does, he has his blood drained, and then he gets his son, his young 17-year-old fit, healthy son, his red and white blood cells and platelets and plasma and stuff put into his body. And then the same thing happens for the 70-year-old father. So he reportedly has a team of 30 doctors and regenerative health experts who oversee the whole thing. And he screens people. He usually screens people to be the donors to ensure that he's receiving donations from a person with an ideal body mass index, which, okay, sir, like, did you even know that that means nothing? The BMI? Trash. Like, literally. And that they have lived a healthy lifestyle and are free of disease. Now, this is kind of based on a little bit of science where people be messing with stuff and putting things together and all kinds of stuff. But it's on animals. It's not, there's no science on how things like this may affect humans. And one person, a biochemist in LA, said, to me, it's gross, evidence-free, so it's not based on any evidence, and relatively dangerous. But they got a picture of all three of these jackasses. So not only that, and I haven't gotten to the best part. We're going to get to the best part in a little bit. He has an ultra strict routine, just like an everyday routine. He starts at 5 in the morning and he takes like 24 supplements. 24. That's 2 12s. It's 24. Yeah. He then exercises for 1 hour, eats a low-calorie vegan diet, and even brushes his teeth in a very calculated manner with tea tree oil. I'm surprised he ain't burning something off. Girl, that stuff burns. Let me tell you that story about when I burned my boob. And antioxidant gel rinse. And when he sleeps, he's hooked up to a machine. Here it comes. That counts how many erections he has throughout the night. So now we've gotten to the good stuff. This is a very peen-focused news time. So let's get to that, okay? So not only is he getting infused with his the blood of his son, like the blood of the Lord. He has said that he's reversed aging in his peen by 15 years due to this painful shock therapy to his genitals. How do you calculate the life of a peen? But let me tell you what he does. So, you know, we already know that he does the blood of the Lord. And he also is real focused on keeping his junk, like, youthful as well. So, he uses focused shockwear therapy. You have a wand and you sit in this chair, and the technician, so it's another person involved, uses the wand and basically shocks your peen with acoustic technology. Now, they say it's used for, like, erectile dysfunction. I never heard this before. They're not electrical shocks, though. So it's not electroshock therapy. But they work similar because they cause micro injuries and then the muscle rebuilds itself. So he's like, the treatment is painful. You know, being young is not easy. He said the pain is 7 to 10, but the tip is 9 to 10, 9 out of 10. He says his subjective experience is that his peen is 15 years younger. That's subjective, right? That's like, that's what I think. That's not objective. Do I have those right? Subjective is what you think. So he's monitoring it. You know, he has a little, like, a sensor that he straps on for about 3 to 5 nights in a row every month. Oh, he takes more than 24. He takes 111 supplements a day. He wants to make all of his major organs function as if they were in his late teens. So brain, liver, kidneys, teeth, skin, hair, peen, and rectum. Again, this is how you know. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, you obviously have too much money because you don't have anything else to do with it. You don't have no student loans that you need to pay off. You can just spend $2 million on elongating your peen. Everybody ain't able, okay? Everybody ain't able. Let me tell you the last peen story, and then maybe we'll end on a story about a woman and her parts. So, you know, there's the Guinness Book of World Records, right? And, you know, people try to get into the Guinness Book. Now, the thing with the Guinness Book of World Records is that you can't just walk up to somebody and be like, I just ran the fastest mile known to man. I need to be in the book. No, you can't do that. Someone has to observe you doing said activity. So the first thing you want to do, decide what you want to do. And then look through the book. I guess you can Google it. And see the time that it took for said person to do said activity, right? So if you want to run the fastest mile, go look up what is the fastest recorded mile in the Guinness Book. So there's some stuff I didn't even know, okay? People try to do the biggest afro, the longest nails, like all kinds of stuff, okay? Okay, so this man, he is wanting to achieve a world record. I get it. We all want to be special, right? He's 40. Okay, he's 40. And what he wants to do is beat a certain time that was set, and that time is 9 hours and 33 minutes. And that was set in 2009. So he been like planning this. So he has a master's degree in physical sciences. This ain't nobody who just laying around doing nothing. Now, he says he already beat the record before, but nobody was around. And you want to know what the record is? He is attempting to achieve the world record for time spent masturbating. I'm going to let you sit with that one for a moment. Yeah, so he said he's already beat the record, but like, nobody was around. So he was like, there's got to be a world record for something I'm good at and have a chance of beating. So he claims that, so I told you the last record, I don't even want, was 9 hours and 33 minutes. He claims that he can do 10 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, so he's like, I could go an hour longer. So he says what he does is he gets in the mood. He puts on some music. He lights some candles and just some mood setting. And he's like, I'm just going to focus on pleasuring myself. He's like, it's a lot of work to go beyond 6 hours. But I still be going. He's like, the first time he did 10 hours. He remember looking at the clock and he was like, oh my God, it's only been 6 hours. And the next thing you know, he was like, oh, it's 10 hours later. Like, so he really just wants to bring awareness to, you know, sexual freedom, down with that. And that it's okay to pleasure yourself, down with that. What I don't understand is why you feel like you have to go do that for 10 hours. 10 hours and 10 minutes. Also, how? This is what how do you come up with that? How do you come up with that? How? Like, what is the thought process? That's really what I want to know often. Like, walk me through the thought process. Help me understand. Were you just like sitting one day and you're like, you know what, let me see how long I can do this. And who has 10 consecutive hours? Is there no chafing? Like, who, what? Because I don't think you could stop. Like, that just seems unhealthy. That just, and painful. Ooh, there's gotta be some chafing. Ooh, I hope he put some, like, what's that glide that you put on when you running? The body glide. He needs to put some body glide on all his parts. Oh. Ooh, that sounds painful. That sounds painful. It sounds exhausting. It just, if somebody told me they were doing it. Again, this is how you know people don't have friends. This is how you know people don't have friends. If you call me and told me, girl, that's what I'm going to do. The devil is a lie. You trying to die. Girl, people crazy. But let me tell you the last story. It's about a lady. And then another news video I'm going to do is about dating and stuff. Because, girl, I got some stories for you. Okay, so this lady, she goes to Mexico and she gets like bariatric surgery. She gets lipo. Apparently it went well, but now she has some sagging skin, which is very common. And she's 65, right? So she's like, I'm going to go back to Mexico and I'm going to get this stuff lifted and tucked and all kinds of stuff, right? So she wants a breast lift and a like arm fat lift, and I don't know all the stuff. I haven't had that surgery, so I don't know. But she wants everything lifted. And have you been to a surgeon? I went before to get a consultation about my breasts. So they just be drawing all over you, girl. So because they need to know like what they're going to do, right? So everything is identified. This, we're going to cut here and we're going to zip up so here and all that good stuff. So she goes into surgery at about 4:00 p.m. She don't come out until like 1:30 in the morning. That's a long time. First of all, she's 65 years old. That's a long time to have somebody under for that amount of time. That's a long time, okay? And then, does it take that long to like nip and tuck things? I don't know. I've never had any sort of plastic surgery, so I don't know. But to me, that sounds long. So she wakes up and she's like, ow. Like, why is everything hurt? Girl, how long is that? It's almost been like 12 hours. Child. Do you know what they did to this lady? They gave her breast augmentation. So they made her boobs bigger. And they gave her a BBL. You know what that means? A Brazilian butt lift. No way am I laughing at this medical malpractice. But could you imagine you just go in to get a little nip and a little tuck and you come out with new boobs and a new behind? Now, I feel like some people would be like, thank you. But it's like $70,000 or something. She didn't ask for all of this. Also, she don't like having this extra, like, she's like, the boobs are too big and the behind is too big now. She got a C cup. I would actually love that. Just shrink me down to a C. But she's like, this is too big. I'm like, girl, I understand. You wake up with these, right? But I feel like some people would be like, thanks, doc. But I'm trying to figure out, you were supposed to be taking things away, but you added it. And I mean, maybe this is wrong, but I'm like, she's 65. Is she really coming in for all that? Like, I just thought some of these things were just for, less than 60. But I don't know. I'm not policing the plastic surgeons and people who want to have surgery. But could you imagine? Girl, see, that's why there's so many lessons here. I need the doctors to read the chart. I need you to have somebody who knows me up in this room put on your scrubs. I just need for there to be some communication. Like, why you mark me up all like, how you decide the size of the implants? How you know, is there a certain, how do you decide what size of butt you want? Like, how do you do that? I don't understand. Like, but how did you know what size she wanted? So now this woman gotta go get stuff taken out. She gonna try for the second time. I feel so bad for this lady. And she looks like an older woman. Like, it was $75,000. And she's like, what? I thought you said it was like $10. She's like, I woke up with some new breasts. Where are you gonna go? Oh, so this is what she said. And it's gonna cost her like $60,000 to repair that work. She says she's lucky. She is, girl, because you came out of that. But she has gone on to warn others to stay away from cut price surgery. So I guess, I don't know how much she was supposed to pay, but I guess they were like, we're just going to give you a little extra, girl. So you're welcome. Child. Let me finish this up. Let me finish this up, and then I'll finish this up. So I think I captured the loco part of Circo Loco, and hopefully you enjoyed these spicy stories. They're pretty loco also. Anyways, I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the ridiculousness. Also, let me know if you have this palette and if you use it. I believe this is the most colorful palette that Natasha Denona has. So let me know if you have it and if you enjoy using it. I think that's it. I would love it if you liked the video. I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.